or whatever.
Starting the stream. Let's see if it works. First try. First try. Yeah,
First try.
I just had to get a new stream key. That's all I had to do. So no big deal.
Combo.
All right, man. Well, this is freaking happening, I guess.
It's the time.
I will do new releases quickly enough.
I had to restart Discord a bunch of times, and then
Tron Identity. Did you see this, Jeremy?
I did. It's some kind of visual novel, and I put some music in the music channel on Discord.
Oh, that's where I saw it. Your post on Discord, probably. I looked at it. I'm like, cool. Another Tron story. Whatever. That's out, apparently, this week. And not much else. EA Sports PGA Tour. You guys down with that business? That's it.
Nice.
I will mention Overwatch Season 2.
okay.
Or Season 4. 4? Shit. Yeah, they had one with Kiriko Ramatra and one with no new hero, and then this one.
Audacity. You guys hearing me again?
Yep.
I can still hear you. Confirmed.
Keeps weird stuff keeps happening.
Bang.
So it was good, and then I tried to record, and then it wasn't good, and then
Okay.
restarted Audacity, Audacity again.
You open Steam.
It's fine now. No, Steam is dead.
Okay, and
Microphone blue. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think Steam just does some weird kind of like thing where it tries to appropriate all of the audio settings to itself.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
LeGrand, is that a new drum kit in the back?
Yeah.
dude, I got that last week.
Wow, nice. Just for you or for the kids? For a kid?
Whoever wants to play it. I mean, I'm in a band, so we're having band practice here on Thursday.
Yeah.
And I just want to learn the drums because I don't know. I mean, because why the hell not, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Why
I
not?
have a hard time patting my head and rubbing my tummy, so I don't think it's
I mean, it's
You got to practice. You got to work on it.
I mean, I've been playing.
Can
It's
you drive a
funny
stick?
because I've been playing music my entire life, but it's like learning how to control your body with drumsticks is different than keyboard, or whatever. So that's kind of
Or like a
I
clutch
do decently
pedal.
at rock band drums, which I know is the closest to the actual instrument.
Yeah, I mean it's actually it's not terrible. I mean I can play a beat, I can mix it.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm not really good at fills, so I don't know how to do that, but I can throw down a couple little rock
Need to
beats.
listen to some Led Zeppelin. You can learn all about fills from John Bonham.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no dude. So dumb.
Oh, I did not look at new releases.
I got them. There's nothing, dude.
You got it?
I put on Tron Identity, and then there's a couple leak new Destiny guns. That's basically it, though.
All right.
Okay, well I'm gonna be rocking and ready to roll here.
All right.
We can make it a quick one, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
let's do it. Starting late. Let's finish
30
up
minutes.
at the regular time. 30 minutes.
Probably. Oh,
30 minutes.
I'm recording officially.
I'm recording.
I'm recording. Okay.
Okay.
Does that sound? That sounds okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beauty.
I mean, it sounds fine here. I don't know how it is on the audio file.
It looks fine. As long as you can hear me, that's how it's recording, right? Generally speaking.
Maybe? Question mark?
All right. I mean, the waveform looks fine.
All right.
All right. Let's clap then. I think we're streaming.
Let's clap.
One,
Yes, we are.
2, 3. You guys were way off together. But
No, I'm totally on.
Well, you together were not on my.
Or, yeah, well, it's probably just lag. I mean, because I use an atomic clock when I clap.
Got it. Got it.
I have a very precise circadian rhythm.
Mhm.
Bowel movement every morning, 5:37, 22 seconds.
AM, PM, AM,
AM.
Damn. Then you go back to bed.
Yeah, then I'm just like, well,
Now
takes it
what?
right out of you.
Yeah, go get another hour of sleep.
Oh man, well, I don't get sleep anymore. I do, just not very much. Not enough. Not as much as I want. How about that?
I used to be a lot more resilient, but now I'm just like, not.
Yeah.
All right, let's start this thing, I guess. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Game by Show podcast. It is April the 11th, 2023. We're here to record the podcast. There's three of us today. The Ides of 2023.
Ides of April.
Ides of 2023.
Pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right in the middle.
Yep. We got Jeremy on the right,
Hey there.
or is it left? I don't know.
I think I'm
He's
the
on the
only one
right.
using like a mirror flipped. I look weird to myself, and I have for like years, but I've never changed it.
You look kind of weird to me too.
I'm using a mirror. Well, at least on my window of me is mirrored. I don't know if it's mirrored for you guys.
Yeah. I mean,
And is my hand on my right or
Well,
on
it's the
my
same
left?
as it is for you on your screen, but what is it in real life?
Are you sure?
that's your
This
left
analogy.
hand. That's
This
your-
is my right hand.
Let's see, lefty. Does it make an L on the?
Wait a minute. This is my right.
Because this
hand.
makes an
This is
L
all-
to
This is a
to me.
problem.
No, wait.
I can't.
I don't know.
Hey, for those of you not tuning into our YouTube stream where we're being dumb,
This is what we call bonus content.
then you should get on and watch us do dumb things.
Join our Patreon.
So, Jeremy, what you're saying is the wall is on your right?
The wall is on my left, but usually you're looking flipped, right?
No, you appear.
The thing is-
you appear to people the way that you would expect. It's your video that's the same because it's off-putting when you raise your right hand looking at yourself and your left hand comes up.
When I look, so let me
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly
So
swear?
actually, so here's the funny thing. On YouTube, it's backwards. On Discord that we're using to record this, this
I
is
think
on
there's
my
a setting.
left.
You can
That's
flip it if
because
you want.
I'm recording and I'm streaming what I'm seeing, which is what I would.
I
Expect.
can't figure this out, and I don't want to think about it anymore. I was not good at trigonometry. I can't do this.
CD pi.
It's fine. We don't understand video conferencing. Yeah, we'll have to have our kids come over and
Hello,
program the
Judge.
Zoom. We'll have to come
I'm
over
not,
and
I'm
program.
not a cat.
They're gonna
I'm
go
not a cat,
program the
Judge.
Discord so that we can record our favorite streamers.
That would be great. I'm a fan of Markiplier.
Ah, dude,
Ugh.
Markiplier. Yeah, okay.
Oh, Macklemore? Yeah.
Macklemore, that big
Yeah.
coat he's got. Oh
Oh.
man,
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
my man,
Mhm.
Oh, so funky.
MacGyver.
You know, MacGyver. I hear MacGyver streams just with like a paper straw and a 9-volt battery.
All right, you guys gotta check this out.
Okay.
Remember last time when I was showing you guys the 3D printed stuff I did?
Oh yeah.
I 3D
What's
new?
printed a dock for a 3DS, which I have right here.
Hey, that's cool. So, what makes it a dock?
Well, the charger, there's a hole.
Just a holder.
There's a hole in there, and that's where the charger cable goes. See?
So it's just like a tiny shelf. That you
Just
can
a
Well,
put
it's
on.
modeled
3DS
after the
holder.
official 3DS one that Nintendo released that probably never came out in the US. So
The 3DS one
so
that I
somebody-
have is like a thing you set it on, because there's
Yeah.
another little charging thing on the underside, right?
yeah, but this is
Is
that's
there
what
really?
that's what the model said. They said they modeled after the one that Nintendo released for the new
I don't recall ever
3DS
seeing
XL.
that.
Okay, the new 3DS XL. Okay, that
Yeah.
might be different.
So they took that thing, they made a model of it, and
I guess I don't understand the benefit though, because you're just like putting it in a sleeve and then putting the cable through it anyway.
well, the
like,
cable I haven't rigged the cable in there yet. The cable sits in there. It's like a dock, and then you just go chunk.
Yeah, and then
plug
you
it
Jeremy,
it in there.
what was the benefit of those like NES cartridge sleeves? You know, the black ones?
to keep the
I don't
dust
know.
out.
I think it was more of like a prestige kind of thing. Like it's like having the Criterion collection on your shelf. You know, these are video games, but look at this sexy black.
Well, they also
like-
had them for the Super Nintendo as well.
Those little
I don't
plastic.
think I ever
caps.
Yeah,
used
little
on the
those.
plastic things that
bottom.
went on the bottom of the cartridges.
Yeah,
I mean, I saw
Mm.
those, but the Nintendo ones, the NES ones,
Yeah, the
those were
black
like
sleeve.
some like shunk. I mean,
yeah,
that
and it was
like,
the
Yeah.
it was probably
and it was
just
like
to
kind of
keep
good
the dust out.
texture, you know. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Back then,
I
nobody
saw
kept
people who
boxes. Nobody kept
I saw
boxes.
people who took all those black sleeves and like stapled them together, like put staples through the sides of them, and then it created like a little shelf, and you would put your game in and
Scratch up your games on the staples that you put
yeah, I don't
together.
know. Yeah, they just did that. Yeah. But I mean,
That's
these were
it.
also people who like they would rip the label off the games or like write on them with
Yeah,
magic
that's too.
marker.
That's this
Like
is this
all
is
Oh,
that stuff.
horrific.
These are the games that would end up in a Funko Land like
The
6 years
the
later.
Isle of Misfit Toys.
Yeah.
it's true.
I don't like it.
Nobody does.
No.
Well, guys, Discord, mirror images, and video games is what we talk about here on the Game by Show podcast. I've been
That's it.
playing Overwatch 2, guys. The new season came out today.
Okay.
Oh, man.
So this is now season 2 of
4.
Overwatch 2. Season 4? How long are these seasons?
It's only
a
like
couple
2
weeks?
months long. They're only like 2 months long.
Has it been out that long? I guess it has
Well,
been.
this
Can't they
this
just make
is
them, like,
season
a
4.
real
It's been like
season?
6 months since it came out, I think.
Whoosh.
Yeah.
All right. And so what does that do? Does it just reset the leaderboards, or what does it mean? To have
They
a new
add like new
season?
stuff all the time to this game, and so there's last season there was like a new map. There's a new hero. There's also a new map. They also have like a community created map that they're putting on there. There's a new event with like an arcade game mode that has challenges you can get to give you XP towards your battle pass, which I bought.
Now, is it the same
I don't
battle
feel
pass,
bad
or does
about it.
that change per season?
Yeah, the battle pass changes every season, so
Okay.
they want you to pony up $10, basically $10 every 2 months to continue playing Overwatch 2 and get all
That's
those-
$5
You know what
a
I-
month.
That is a
Yeah.
lot. You know what I think I found out? I think I forfeited all of my coins from Overwatch 1. I never spent any
No, they're still
coins. Are they? I tried
Yeah.
finding them, and it's just like really arcane to try and like
It's
figure out
the
where that
store
stuff
is dumb. So like the paid for money store like rotates inventory every 6 months or every six days.
Huh.
But one thing that they do is in their store is they will notice like which heroes you play a lot of.
Yeah.
And then they'll surface up featured for you. Here's some skins for these heroes you play.
Oh, that's cool.
So I get all Moira skins and Roadhog skins and yeah, that's basically all I play.
I remember Overwatch.
Overwatch is great, man. Like there's a new hero out. His name's Lifebloom, and he's a healer, and he's I guess people are complaining about him. He's got an interesting thing where he charges up his heals. So he has an attack, and he has a heal like flower that he sends out, and you can charge up the heal flower to be more healy. He also has a dash, which heals himself, so he can kind of dash away. So most healers in Overwatch will have like a getaway type of maneuver,
Yeah.
which makes it nice for people who play healers and get jumped by nerdy sombras. But anyway, but his unique ability that he has a thing called Life Grip, which is will basically pull a friendly hero towards you. So say somebody's getting his ass kicked and they overextended themselves, you can hit the E button and you'll life grip them to you and pull them out of the harm's way so you can heal them up, etc. And then he also has an ability where he basically throws a flower on the ground, and when you stand on it or when an enemy player stands on it, it shoots them up in the air like an elevator, and then it stays levitating for a little bit. So it's kind of a unique, interesting ability. I don't quite
Does that
know.
hold them frozen so you could shoot at them? Is that
No, they're just up on the thing. And so I've been using it to kind of disorient my enemy team, so they like run over. I'll like cast this flower underneath their feet, and all of a sudden they'll be up in the air, so they're kind of throws them off a little bit. For people who are, but there is like a challenge or an achievement to do X number of damage while sitting on top of one of those flowers. So it is supposed to be used as a tactical. Like maybe you want to get a Bastion up really high so he can just
like it lifts him up and makes him a target for everybody to be able to.
Yeah, or
kind of,
makes them a target, but also allows them to kind of see over into the back lines, maybe, or I don't know. There's
Oh, so
line of
it's
sight
so
on
it's for
something
friends.
else?
So wait, so is it for friends or for enemies?
it's both.
Oh
So
yeah, just
it
everybody.
depends on how you want. So the first person who runs over it gets kind of shot up in the air, and they
Okay.
it
Just one
hovers
person.
about, I would say, maybe 20 feet up in the air, and it hovers up there, and they just kind of sit on there. And so again, maybe you have a sniper and you want to put them in the back lines up high, and then or stuff like that. I think is what it's designed for. It's kind of a unique thing, and so. The heals on this character, I guess people have been complaining about it. I agree a little bit that he is a little underpowered. He doesn't heal. I mean, even Moira, which I plays hyper aggressively on the damage side, like I still will heal as much as my partner healer. She's got a really powerful heal, and you have to do damage to power up her heal, which is cool.
Right.
But this guy, you can charge the heal, but it doesn't seem like it heals for a lot. It seems like it could be better than that.
Is he meant to be more like a heal over time sort of guy, or what?
No. I mean, he has like 12 charges of this heal thing, and before he has to quote unquote reload, right? And so you can kind of rapid fire the button, and it'll like just launch him out. But they're not as powerful heals. If you hold the button down for maybe half a second or a second, it charges it up, so the heal is a little bit more powerful. So it's but it doesn't seem like it is the equivalent of like a heal from any other healer who's got just like a normal casty heal. So he feels a little weak that way, but life grip is pretty interesting to be able to pull people out of the way. I've used that a lot to save my teammates from making bad decisions and from getting killed. It's also a nice trolley move where you can just kind of pull people around just for the hell of it, and so that's kind of fun. But anyway, we had a bunch of friends who kind of got back into Overwatch a couple weeks ago. We were at a LAN party for a friend's birthday party, and we played some Overwatch and had a lot of fun. And so there's a bunch of the gang that's playing Overwatch, which is cool. I mean, it's a great game. I didn't complain about it before. I probably quit because something else new and shiny came out when I stopped playing it in the first season or second.
I have not installed it. Like, I'll go in periodically and just kind of like try it. Like I did the Patchy Mori or whatever it is, the little event that they did, and I got some patchies or something.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I'm not really. I'm a just kind of drop in and look around kind of.
Yeah, and that's fine. I think that the game is easy enough to pick up, and I've been having fun. I would say that I'm pretty okay at the game. I understand the mechanics. I know the maps. I know I'm a very good Moira player, and I have fun when you can kind of,
Yeah, I do that thing where I like struggle for about 45 minutes to an hour, and then I'm done playing, and then I don't play again for a long time. So I'm like, every time I go back to the game, I'm like struggle bus.
Yeah.
Every time.
And there's some heroes that I don't play very often, and sometimes I'm like, I'll try it. I used to like that guy, and like, no.
Yeah,
like
I do that too.
You really have to focus on, like, if you want to get good, you have to focus on a handful of heroes.
I just really want to stay bad. I'm just
or stay bad. That's also
yeah.
Why bother trying to keep up?
Yeah, I don't do a GG get good. I do an SB stay bad.
Nice. Anyway, so a bunch of Overwatch 2 for me. I've been playing some other things, but I'll talk about those on another day. Overwatch 2 is great. And if you want to play, hit me up. I'm down to play.
I think I would just embarrass you. So
probably.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I've been playing something kind of new and different this week. New release. In fact, I tried to gin up a little bit of interest in the Discord for it, and I don't know if anybody really noticed, but on PlayStation Plus, well, particularly, I mean, it launched on a bunch of platforms, but it is free on PlayStation Plus at launch. A game called Meet Your Maker. And Meet Your Maker is a game from the original team that did Dead by Daylight. I don't think it's the same studio name. I think it's like people who had been on that team before. And the current studio is Behavior Interactive, and I think that's new because I'm pretty sure it was a different. I can't think of the name of the Techland. I think it was that did Dead by Daylight, and then kind of in the same way that Dead by Daylight was sort of an interesting take on open world zombie. And at daytime they were all in the buildings, and that was scary inside, and at nighttime they'll come out, so that was the time to go in the buildings and do little quests and things. Just kind of had a lot of interesting, and then you get powers and stuff like that. It was just kind of an interesting twist on that. Meet Your Maker is kind of a new, unique idea also, and you can play it two ways. In fact, but the two ways are one way. I mean, it's not like you choose A or B; that you kind of are wanting to do both all the time. The game takes place in sort of a kind of generic apocalyptic kind of future, kind of Mad Maxy. The world is a wasteland, and everybody who's left are like genetic kind of mishmashes because all of the genetic material is gone or whatever. So the kind of the premise of the game is you're trying to get whatever is left of pure genetic material to like maintain your biological cohesion or whatever. Who cares? They don't really make like a lot out of that, but that's kind of the premise. So the gameplay though is that you and right now they're still rolling it out, so it has a little bit of like an early access kind of feel. They've already got a roadmap. Like you can go to their website and they're like, here's what we're going to be doing April, May, June, kind of gradually releasing things. But the idea is that you, as a seeker as a hunter, select from a map from different areas that you can go visit in a first-person shooter kind of perspective. And you have one main weapon, a melee kind of knife, and then a grappling hook. And then there are extra little things that you can get, grenades or whatever. And you can spend, so you have a home base that you start out in, and you can use resources that you collect on missions to build grenades or, energy bubbles that protect you, that sort of thing. And the game is a one-hit death, so you don't have HP. If you get hit, you die and start over again. But you go to a level, and the levels, it kind of reminds me of playing like original Doom. Like everything is kind of blocky, and it's kind of gritty and post-apocalyptic-y. And you basically are following. There's like a little robot, like a little carrier dude, like a little quadrupedal thing, and it doesn't do anything. But it goes into the level, and the level could be built up high, it could be down low, and you go in there and try to get the Indiana Jones idol at the center of this little shrine or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the shrine is built by other players. And you basically the other side of this. So you as the hunter will go through and try and avoid traps and try and avoid bad guys. And again, one hit kill. So if anybody gets you, you're dead and you start over again. But the traps are things like dart guns, and it's all like high techy. It's not like it's not like the Amazonian, blow darts or anything, but fire trapdoors, acid pools, and just all kinds of hazards that are built into this thing, and it's built by another player. And so when you're selecting it on map, depending on the resource spend that the other player was able to use, you have different danger levels, normal and hard. And
presumably as a player, you're building these things as well. And so
that's correct.
Does that make it sort of like a tower defense kind of thing?
Not tower defense, but so when you're playing as the seeker, you are on the lookout because you've only got one hit and you're dead and you start over and it resets the level. So you're playing cautiously, but you can't play too cautiously because if you're slow, you're going to get hit by stuff. Bad guys might come. And the people who you're playing against, kind of in this asynchronous sort of manner, they are thinking ahead about what you, the player, are going to be doing because they are also a player, right? So they'll have you can have blocks. So it's a little like Minecraft, but you can also have inclines. So there's the levels themselves are blocky and made of cubes, but there are also areas that have a little bit more resolution or fidelity, I guess. So you can have ramps and things like that. But the players are setting up traps or mazes or things that will try and discourage you. There's a little bit of logic that they can build in. So if you get to a certain point, it might, like, you got to get in, swipe the thing, and then you got to get back out. And they can actually set it so that when you swipe the thing, a whole other set of traps on the outbound side are going to get you. So you have to kind of be careful and vigilant about what's in the walls, what's in the ceilings, what's in that little crevice that you kind of didn't notice, because if you get hit at all, you're dead. And so they'll set things up so that you can maybe peek in and try and figure out what's going on, but then they'll know that you're going to stop there and peek, and you get killed by some, dart trap or something. Right. And then you kind of figure out where that dart trap is and you shoot it. So you can shoot the traps. They only fire once.
In general?
It can be co-op. So then to answer Dale's question, when you're building it, that's kind of what you're trying to figure out is what kind of crazy idea do you want to come up with? Do you want to make something that's a maze? Do you want to make it so that it's enclosed like a tunnel, and you're kind of taking people through the anthill of this shrine that you've made? Do you want to make it where you throw a combination of enemy bad guys like units at them, and while they're fighting, fire is going off around them? Do you want to do acid pool pathways, so you've got to be careful with like platforming and whatever? Your character has a double jump and your character has a grappling hook, and you can use that, like I said, pretty much at any time. So you have some mobility, but the player that you're playing against is someone who has already plotted through the path that you've got to take to get there, and they'll know kind of where, if you're it's sort of psychological, right? Like they are plotting your path all the way through that. And you have people who are less and more elegant or complex in how they build these things. But then, Legrand, yes, you can play this with up to 2 players at the same time. So if you're playing with someone else, when you die, instead of being reset, you have a chance to revive the other player. So it kind of changes the whole dynamic of the thing. And the only thing is, there's not really a way, as the designer of one of these death trap towers, to account for that. So that one of the interesting things is that that if you build a tower and watch people play, you can actually see a playback, kind of like Spelunky or whatever, where you could actually watch someone's playthrough. So you can kind of tweak and adjust and find out, oh, that didn't work as well as I thought it would. Or here I'm going to add something really new. I'm going to build onto this and add on. And the building tools are a little bit like Minecraft, so it's just like blocks that you're putting in there. So it's nothing too complicated. You don't have to like Little Big Planet physics stuff and figure it out. You're basically building kind of like Doom levels, more or less. And it's kind of fun, like even the ones where, because for me, this was something that happened to me when I play Demon Souls or Dark Souls or whatever. Like once I figured out, I'm like, I'm gonna min-max this, I'm gonna figure this out, I'm gonna, like, I know where everything is, I'm gonna come back in, I'm gonna get it. So even the things that are way beyond my ken, I'll still come back and try and get through it or whatever. And every time you, as the builder, kill a comer, they give you resources and stuff. So you get, if by building a complicated death trap, you actually just get stuff. And then that stuff you can use then on your own ventures to go out and to try to get this biomaterial that's really the kind of the main resource in the game. It's kind of simple. Like this is the kind of game that you would maybe overlook and you'd think, well, I'm not interested in this. But I would encourage you to maybe look at it if you have PS Plus.
Where's it at? It's on PlayStation?
PlayStation 5. Yeah, so you can play it on PS5. And
as well, probably,
it is on
right?
PC and it
Xbox.
is on Xbox. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
on all those. I don't know if there's a cross-play component to it or not. I don't know how to find people or whatever. So they're also, the only thing is that at the moment there's only like 2 main weapons that you can do. So aside from your knife, you get a rail gun kind of thing, and you have limited ammo. I guess that's the other thing to mention. The main gun that you start out with, you get 2 shots, and you can go and pick up your shots. But you can't just go in there and just start, laying waste. It's not that kind of game. It's like a much more slow, methodical. The bad guys might take a couple of hits if you accidentally shoot them in the armor. So if you get a 1-hit kill, like, that's awesome. But sometimes they'll come at you, and again, you die in 1 shot also. So sometimes you might have been trying 5 or 6 or 7 times, and then you screw up somewhere early on. It doesn't matter. You got to start over again. But I do like the idea of just that psychological element to it, where someone is, to a greater or lesser extent, planning and knowing exactly where you're going to be and you're trying to outsmart one another. So in the same way that fighting game is a lot about, well, I'm going to counter your counter, the same thing is happening here, whether you have the wherewithal, just the right combination of caution,
Almost like an asynchronous.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah,
thing.
you're playing somebody's Batman to, like, the Riddler out there, to try and figure this out. So it's kind of fun. And I wasn't sure. I sort of gave it I looked at the trailer before it came out, and I gave it sort of a mercy download, because I'm like, well, this is probably not going to be that interesting. But it really surprised me. It actually turned out to be something kind of cool. So yeah, Meet Your Maker on lots of different platforms. I don't know how much it's selling for. I'm assuming it's like a $30 game. So like I said, they are still in the process of rolling some things out. So
it does not
if you play it a
early
lot,
access, I don't believe.
I don't think it is. I don't think it actually is. It just kind of has that feel, because like I said, you've only got a couple of weapons to choose from. The traps right now are limited, but they're going to be releasing, different styles of traps and different upgrades that you can do for those things. But it is like the first week or so of release, and I think I've heard there are some bugs also. I haven't run into any of that, but it doesn't. It doesn't really matter. The game is fairly bare bones, but I think the idea is kind of high concept enough that it's kind of fun for now. And I would definitely would suggest you try it out. It's something totally different from the people who brought you Dead by Daylight. Sorry, not Dead by Daylight. Did I say Dead by Daylight at the beginning?
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's correct.
Is it okay? Dead by
I'm looking at the website here. It does seem like it's the same people, the same team name as well. Behavior.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And then they have something called Project S as well, which I'm not sure what that is. But
Project Snake.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Reviving the Nokia classic.
Yeah. Behavior named Best Workplace for Women. Or a best place. So, Great Places to Work, that corporate initiative thing.
Yep.
Yeah, they were chosen as does it say Canada 2023? Nice. Okay. Well, cool.
Very good.
So anyway, yeah. So I don't really have a game to talk about this time, but I did go and see the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Oh, we totally forgot. Yeah. How did you like that?
I didn't. I was uninvited from the party, apparently.
I tried.
You were uninvited from the Super. It was first of all, I'll tell you what I did like about the movie was that it was only 90 minutes long. Right? It was short in and out. More movies need to be approximately that length, as opposed to, another hour or twice that length, right?
Yeah.
It moved very briskly, like a Mario video game often does. And it was pretty to look at. Had very, very good quality animation, and it was bright and colorful, and lots of little Easter eggs and references and things. But aside from that, I didn't think it was great.
No.
It was just what it was. Although we were introduced to Mario and Luigi's extended family.
Yeah, their family. I thought that was kind of a cool little lore element. They did not really get into the idea of whether, because they're the Mario brothers, canonically.
Is their last name Mario?
Their last name is Mario, so it's
Luigi
Mario, and Luigi Mario.
Yeah, they did not get into that. Did you notice that their dad was voice acted by Charles Martinet?
No, but I think he
Yeah.
also voice acted someone else in there too.
Or I assume it was their dad. I thought
I
it
was thinking he had those big pork chops too, and I was trying to think if he was like kind of referential to some other character or something, and maybe not.
Well, there was also like Uncle Giuseppe or somebody. It was
Yeah.
and then there was like the mom and maybe the grandma. I know there was the granddad who
Yeah.
was blind and had to be fed.
Yeah.
It was a whole Mario thing. And I mean, I don't know. It was weird. Like, first of all, having a voice come out of Bowser or Mario or Luigi, other than just like a single word here and there, right?
Right.
It's just a little bit of a weird notion. But I mean, I guess you can't have like a Charlie Chaplin silent film sort of thing although that would be a good way to do it, I think, with the little like interstitial cards that would come up and say "Wahoo" or whatever. And I don't know. It was fine. It was the plot was like don't waste any brain space trying to think about what the plot is.
So generally, without spoilers, and I don't want to color Legrand's opinion of this. I probably already have, but I am kind of disappointed that when something is for kids, that the creators tend to just say like, it doesn't matter. Like, we don't have to have good writing or a good.
But then at the same time, they fill it with like jokes and references and needle drops that only adults will appreciate.
You know what I thought was weird was all the music, the licensed music that was in that. I
really
did not care for that. Yeah, oh yeah, dude. It's like
there's plenty of like remixed Mario motifs and things as well.
Well, there are. So I guess here,
Just
let me
kind of a
try and
weird mix.
summarize it without really spoiling anything. Because I think that what ended up happening is it is a string of referential stuff with no real connective tissue to really tie it together. And to where you would, and and it's fine. I'm sure there's like some,
maybe they based
adults.
it off of the first Super Mario Brothers game on the NES.
It's not like a good origin story. It's not
the plot
really
is
good.
Kind of more akin to the first game, and it is trying to sort of be an origin story. It does hit those beats,
But it's like, he shows up and they're like, all right, Mario, it's time to go on an adventure. Like, that's literally what happens. Like, this dude comes out of this thing and you're like, all right, I'm going to take you to
now we're on an adventure.
Yeah, exactly. And I have heard, so here's the thing. I won't go into any more specifics about it because I think it's okay for people to watch it. It's people like it and it's okay to like it. I'm not going to tell you shouldn't like it. I'm just going to tell you
It checks all the boxes.
The number one thing that I felt like, if I have an emotion that I felt watching this, it was kind of like embarrassment. Like, I was a little bit.
No, see, I didn't get that at all. I don't quite.
I just thought,
that.
like I wanted it to be better representative of like good, I don't know. I just wanted it to kind of be better. But
I don't think video games need to be legitimized or anything.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is that it's sort of just like a generic Illumination Studios thing.
Yeah,
it's almost like they took the model for Princess Peach could be like any lady from any of their movies, but they just like dress her up with like the accessory kit.
But I think that's kind of a best case scenario. You know what I mean?
I don't know if it's a best case scenario. I mean, I don't know.
I guess best case if it came out and it was good and like, I don't know.
I will say this. I will say this. Bob Hoskins' Super Mario Brothers, 1993, was a more ambitious movie. Right?
Was it? I
Yes,
don't know.
I think it was. I mean,
Or were they just trying to cash in on a name that people knew?
what are they? I mean, I would argue they're doing the same thing here. But so I was going to say earlier, what I have heard, and I don't know if this is true, is I've heard that Shigeru Miyamoto, being personally involved in this, wanted there to be as little plot as possible. I think that is something that he wanted. That would explain some things. And it's fine. I'm sure they made the movie that they wanted to. I just think they set the bar very low because they knew they could and rely on brand recognition. And I guess I'm just disappointed that that's kind of the way they went with it.
Yeah.
But
it is definitely a bunch of
but
boxes
it's-
ticked off of a list. You know.
yeah,
like,
it's
what
a
you would
thing to
expect.
see. It's a thing to see, you know. And there are some things that I thought were nice. I mean, I thought the kind of the characterizations of Mario and Luigi as brothers were kind of good. There were some things that, you know, people seem to like. The Jack Black Bowser performance, people kind of like it. I'm sort of like,
I don't love it.
mediocre on it.
I don't
Yeah.
love Jack Black as Bowser or
And
the personality that Bowser had exactly.
yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it's fine, but it's fine. It's fine. It's a thing to see.
It is fine, and it's weird that it's a little bit weird that like that it's out there now, that it exists. It's a thing that's no longer confined to like what if, you know, hypothetically.
I think I've decided that we're in like a beta timeline rather than like an alpha timeline. I think this is the kind of movie that you get when you're in a beta timeline. This is how the movie kind of made me feel. Like
Beta timeline.
Yeah.
I might just wait. Unless somebody asks me to go, I'm just gonna wait until.
How can I get to the alpha
HBO.
timeline?
You can go without seeing it. Yeah. You just got to assert yourself to get to the alpha timeline, Dale.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I need to work on my Sigma.
Yeah, that's right. no soy milk drinks.
Well, everybody, I've got some new releases. Exactly one. These are courtesy of tech-gaming.com. There are a bunch of new releases there, but not really a whole lot going on. Tron Identity. I only mention this because Jeremy's a big Tron nerd.
I love Matt Damon in that one. That's
Yeah, the
the
Tron, Identity.
Oh, you know, I started watching the Bourne movies like for the first time. I'd only ever seen the first one, and now they're leaving Netflix at the end of the month, and I
how's
just
that
watched the
Moby
second
song
one.
treating you?
It's pretty all right.
Wow, dude, we could start a beatboxing band.
I want to go.
tonight.
Wasn't there a Bourne game on the Nintendo 64 or something? Or
What's it? Are those movies that old?
On the 360, there was a Bourne.
maybe it was a 360
wasn't
Bourne Convention or Bourne.
It was it was
Bourne
an original
Convention.
one. Yeah,
Bourne
the
Convention. All the
Bourne-
Jason Bournes show up.
The Bourne.
It was
who
something.
knows?
Yeah, I thought there was a Bourne game. It was fine.
It wasn't a direct adaptation of any of the movies. It was going to be its own. It was its own
Yeah.
separate thing.
Exactly.
Why are we talking about the Bourne Identity?
I
Oh,
don't know.
Jared.
This is more interesting than the new releases.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Tron Identity. It's a visual novel on all the things. We have
Yeah.
a few leaked new Destiny guns, apparently. EA Sports PGA Tour. It's probably a
It's a Destiny gun.
it's probably a
Yeah, hand
pistol.
cannon.
Hand cannon for sure. Also, a Pretty Girls tile match. Yeah, they're really digging to the bottom of the barrel on these Destiny guns nowadays.
You just start running out of,
I don't know.
floating
They run
The
out of
seventh
like
guest.
noun,
The seventh
adjective,
guest.
verb combinations, and
Is them, I think, getting their groove back. The seventh guest is a real Destiny style Destiny gun.
I would agree with that. That's a good one. It's a good one. There's some free games on Epic Game Store. I don't know why we mentioned these. By the time this gets posted, they're going to be gone. But check the Epic Game Store.
Hey, I just want to point out, when I was mentioning earlier Dead by Daylight, I was describing Dying Light, not Dead by Daylight. And so
Yeah.
I got confused there with the different light-based, horror survival games. But yeah, Dying Light Enhanced Edition and Shapes are currently
Dying Light's a
on
great
offer.
game. It's a great game.
Dying Light is really good, and that's why I was thinking of that rather than Dead by Daylight, which is all right. And then coming up later on in the week, Mordhau from the Jared Dunn file, and Second Extinction early access later on this week over at Amazon Gaming. If you have a Prime subscription, Wolfenstein: The New Order, the GOG version, and then some SNK games, Art of Fighting 3, Path of the Warrior, and Ninja
I think
Commando.
Second Extinction Early Access sounds like a threat.
Kinda.
Star Citizen.
Hey, in the news, Nintendo. So we have presided here over the death of E3 in the last couple of weeks. Nobody, just everybody decided they weren't going to show up.
Requiescat in pace.
Yeah.
E3.
Nintendo, though, has decided that not only are they going to do a Nintendo Direct, but they are going to do a whole Nintendo E3 event now with a thing called Nintendo Live, which will occur in Seattle in September. And it's basically going to be like an in-person gathering of everybody who laughed at all the jokes in the Super Mario movie.
Gathering of the
they're all going
Nintendo.
to be in one place. Hey, listen. I did laugh at one joke.
That was a good one.
Which one was it?
So I'm going to spoil this. This is like the one good joke in the Super Mario movie when
I don't want to know
Bowser.
the one good joke. I want to see.
You can take your.
I want to see if I can determine the one good joke. So I'm not going to listen.
Okay, take
You
your
wave at me when you're ready to put my headphones on.
I will.
Don't make it like 20 minutes. Okay, bye.
Okay, and everybody else skip ahead. But when Bowser is there with all of his minions in the castle, and they're all like, "Oh, joke? King Bowser!" No, but that was pretty funny too. But the one where he's like, "And I'm going to have a fairy tale wedding" or something like that. Nobody laughed in the theater except me. I thought it was pretty funny. So I don't know, Dale. You don't seem convinced by that joke.
I'm trying to remember that joke. I don't.
Because it's all like they're like these bad dudes, and he's like, "And we're going to have a fairy tale wedding," and like everyone was just like blank face.
All I could think about like during the whole like Bowser Peach plotline was Braid, and like how I was like, "Oh no, they're doing Braid. They're just it's like meta commentary."
Yeah.
Okay,
Lagrange, you can come back. Come on back.
Okay.
No, he's not looking. Okay, there he is. Okay, yeah, there. All right, it's time.
Yeah.
It's time. So, anyhow. So all the people are going to be, it was pretty good. Did you want to guess what the joke was? I don't know what you had in mind there.
No, I want to guess it. I want to go
later
see the
on.
movie and see the joke that I.
There were a couple of funny things, but that was the one that I laughed at that nobody else really thought was funny. So, anyhow, all the other people are going to be at Nintendo Live in Seattle, 2023.
It seems to be more like less of an E3 and more of like a. It's not like really a trade show, right?
No, it's for people. It's for like regular people.
Yeah, so
And
not
Joe's.
It'll probably have a
regular Marios.
Yeah, that's right. It'll have a particular smell, I think. But
dude, how many nerdy people are gonna be playing Pokemon at this thing?
Too many.
Maybe many.
Everyone's gonna have a Switch. They're standing in line to play something dumb, and they're gonna be playing on their dumb Switches.
Listen, I feel ambivalent about this because on one hand, it's like I participate in some dumb, embarrassing things and enjoy it, and I don't like to like tear people down, but it's just, the Sonic people, the Mario people.
Be a hierarchy.
I'm sorry. It's the truth. I'm just telling you how it is.
It's fine.
Yeah. Speaking of Nintendo also is on the warpath right now, going after Discord to find out who it was who leaked images from the as yet unpublished Tears of the Kingdom.
I didn't know this happened, so this is the Barbara Streisand effect in action.
Yeah, no, I hadn't not heard about this either.
Yeah, this
I'm gonna go look them up though for sure now.
I know now it's probably out there even more. So basically, it says that Nintendo has filed a DMCA subpoena with Discord. Which a subpoena is a court subpoena, so I don't know if you can just like start subpoenaing people, I suppose. But anyway,
they had to go through the DMCA though. So
yeah, I don't know. I think that DMCA that was like a digital millennium. Wasn't that in the year 2000?
Digital Millennial Copyright Act.
Yeah, it's more than 20 years old, that legislation now, I think. So I don't know. Anyway,
outdated at this point.
The Tears of the Kingdom official Discord server, as it was named, has been taken offline. Some of its members were still sharing leaked content after Nintendo issued this thing. And
the officials Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Discord.
And you can call it on Discord. Discord's the Wild West. You can call it anything you want, I suppose. But this actually
why are companies so precious about this type of dumb stuff? Like, who cares?
Yeah, I don't know if it would really impact them.
But anymore, it's not like a lot of companies are not so precious anymore. But Nintendo, they're super old school.
Somebody leaked a thing, and now I'm mad. Now I'm mad.
Of an art book that they're going to sell anyway. I mean, come on.
That's the thing. I mean, that is part of it, is that they could make the argument that it would harm their sales of the thing, maybe. But
yeah, whatever.
Dude. This is for the same types of people that are going to the Nintendo Live event.
That's true.
Yeah.
And laugh.
Hyrule Historia
like
buyers.
That's who buys these things. Like normal people.
By the way, Discord is not likely to protect your identity if you do stuff like this. They will, you are not anonymous on Discord. Just a little bit.
Discord is not your friend.
Yeah, they're not your friends, and so all the spicy leaked images, they'll find their way home. Guys, that's going to do it for our news, but we're not done
All
yet.
right.
We've got the news speed run to get through here. Dale, start some of that music. Nice. The number of seconds.
I will start. Super Mario Brothers movies breaking box office records. We just talked about it. Apparently, it's no good, but nobody cares. They want to go see it anyways.
Everybody wanted to take their kids to it. I mean,
$377 million. It'll also quickly become.
That's like 6 tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And popcorn. It might become it'll probably become the most, like, the highest grossing video game movie as well. I think it's in currently 6th place after one weekend. So
yeah, that's probably true.
And it's only another maybe 50 million puts them in first place. By the way,
I completely smuggled in enough candy. I was like crinkly as I walked into the movie theater in my jacket. Yeah, I totally.
What's first place now? Like Mortal Kombat Annihilation or something?
Lara Croft, Tomb Raider.
Assassin's Creed, Michael Fassbender.
I don't know. I came across. I was donating blood today, sitting there donating blood, and was scrolling the news, and I came across an article. So I don't know who posted it, but I'm sure I can find out.
Nice. Well, the free Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog game is quite popular with people. It's been downloaded over 1 million times since it was released on April 1st, and is currently the 61st highest reviewed game on Steam. So,
wow.
Not bad.
And this is an official thing by Sega, right?
Yeah. They
It's
actually
not like some kind of fan-made something or other.
Nope, it's official.
Yeah, I heard about it. So it's kind of strange. Well, anyway.
All right,
fans have
we
made.
got an update to the last story.
Okay.
What do you think is the number one highest grossing video game movie?
I think it would be
World of Warcraft.
The second Lara Croft movie, Cradle of Life.
Is World of Warcraft.
Really?
Yeah, because it was big in China.
Yeah, it only made 47 million in the United States and 391 million everywhere else.
I mean, I guess there's also like Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know why I'm picking movies from 20 years ago.
Yeah, Sonic. I thought Sonic and Sonic 2, I think both did pretty good.
What do you think number 2 is? What do you think number 2 is?
Probably Sonic.
Resident Evil something. Monster Hunter. It's Monster Hunter.
Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
There was a movie of that.
Got it.
Number 3. What do you think? You're never gonna guess.
Double Dragon.
Hitman.
Rampage.
Timothy Oliphant.
Rampage. Starring Dwayne the Rock
Johnson.
Number 4. I'm just gonna give it to you. Uncharted.
Okay.
Huh.
$401 million. I don't know.
Rampage made more than Uncharted.
5 is Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Okay.
Huh.
Followed by Super Mario Brothers movie. What do you think is after Super Mario Brothers movie?
Sonic 1.
Angry Birds.
What?
Yeah.
There was a movie about that, wasn't there?
The Angry Birds movie, 2016. Prince of Persia: The Sands
Where
of Time.
is Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within?
Sonic the Hedgehog 1. And Resident Evil: The Final Chapter is number 10. Resident Evil Afterlife, Tomb Raider, number 12. Anyway, point being, what I wanted to say is that Mario has already made 377 million, and the number 1 place is 439 million. So they literally have like 50 million to go to surpass
easily
Warcraft,
yeah.
which will be done this week, which is probably already done, quite honestly.
Yeah, by now. Yeah.
I think Warcraft might have been a better movie. I certainly would have liked to see more Warcraft movies.
I would like that as well. I thought it was.
Well,
okay.
you know what you can do? If you turn on motion smoothing and then play it on your TV, you can pretend that it's the Warcraft movie classic, and yeah,
just plug it into your tube TV, whatever they call it.
Yeah, that's
Well, anyway, you guys, fans have made a Dead Space D-make in the style of PS1 graphics, and so because that famous PS1 game Dead Space, right?
Yeah.
No, I guess that's why it's a D-make.
And tank controls.
Which I think that's a decent idea. I wonder how good it is.
It's free.
free.
It looks pretty good. Yeah.
itch.io.
itch.io.
Phil Harrison has departed Google because Stadia is no longer a thing.
In
so
shame.
Peace out, Phil Harrison.
Tail between his legs.
In shame.
They paid
Microsoft.
him so much money to go do that, dude.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I have no doubt. Microsoft has expanded the PC Game Pass program to 40 more countries in the Baltic Europe, Nordic Europe, Arabic areas, and South American regions. And, you know, it's just kind of unfortunate it's only the PC Game Pass because I think it's like the most useless Game Pass.
But I wonder if many of those countries have a console market to speak of.
Yeah, I don't know.
They might be more PC friendly markets.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe. Sony filed a patent for haptic feedback on a controller that changes temperature, which that just sounds like they're skimping on their fans. Is all that is.
Oh, this game's intense, and my controller's getting hot.
Yeah.
My hands are sweaty.
They just take a couple, put in a couple of resistors in there, and it's like, is this
It's weird?
Causes some burns. I wonder what they would use for cooling though. Like I think that's kind of neat, like to actually circulate some coolant or something. I don't know. Heat induction,
liquid cooled controller, haptic.
Maybe put in a fan there to blow on your face a little bit as you.
So from the world of EVE Online, guys, everyone's favorite game, there was a big heist, and these are like this game is like an insane game for crazy people.
Yes.
And the previous record of like ISK, which is the in-game currency. So the money in this game has like a real world equivalent value. You can't extract it like a bank, but there's an amount of money that these things are worth. Anyway, these people walked out with the equivalent of $22,000 worth of in-game currency.
I want to say we reported the last time there was a major heist like this. I think
it was 10,000 last time. Yeah. So apparently there was some social engineering going on. There was, there was a big corporation that was voting in a new CEO, and they basically,
Well, the thing is, they like weaseled some dude in, like by socially engineering someone to like let him in, and then they somehow called a vote for CEO of this big corporation, and nobody voted except these two infiltrators, and became the leaders of this corporation with control over all the assets. Which I don't know why nobody else showed up to vote. Everybody do your civic duty.
They probably didn't know. Didn't know. That was the loophole, right? Like it says here on the I mean they probably just did it somehow, and nobody was online or nobody noticed, I guess. Could probably happen. They didn't like announce it and promote it. They just did it. And then by doing so, it automatically made the dude become CEO, right?
That's crazy.
Not a bad way to make, $22,000.
Not that you can do anything with it. I guess you could sell it probably on like the gray market. But
you could probably just like one ISK at a time until you...
No, all that you do is you just put a target on your back. You're going to be the victim of the next big EVE heist. That's how that's right.
It's the Oceans 2, I guess, are going to come get you. Media Molecule is ending support for their multimedia creation tool Dreams and moving on to a new project. I think the main lesson to learn from this is you should have probably put this on PC. Would have been amazing there.
Yeah.
You guys ever
It'll
fool
continue
around
to
with
work. Not even once. I always kind of like thought it would be cool,
Same.
but I just never did.
Way. Actually, look at this, and I never did. Yeah.
And every time, like people would make really cool stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, look at that, and I just never.
Yeah.
The sequel to Final Fantasy XI, Final Fantasy 16, is getting a new dedicated Sony State of Play this week, promising 20 minutes of gameplay.
Is that true? Is there a tie to Final Fantasy XI on this, or are you just?
It's a sequel to Final Fantasy XI.
All right, I got you.
I mean, it's in the title.
Yeah. Let's see here. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. That's the new Star Wars game. Star Wars Celebration was last weekend, by the way.
Yeah, boy, that blew up my social media feed. I wanted to.
They announced like 10 more new movies that they're going to.
It was exhausting.
Stuff. Yeah,
it was so exhausting.
Sure. Anyway, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. Apparently, is 155 gigs needed to install that game on your.
I don't know why that would be. There's no excuse for that.
It's got to be super high res textures. That game's got to run like rock solid at 4K.
Jeremy, pray the installation does not balloon any further.
I will stream this thing.
There's a big world where you run around with guns and shoot people in like a battle royale format, and that's why it's that big.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yep.
Half-Life Alyx has been modded, is now playable without VR, and works all right, apparently, by all accounts. But of course, you have a lot of like handy things that you do, and movie
Yeah.
visually or looky aroundy things. And so it's not awesome, and it's a community mod. It's not an official mod, and it's kind of interesting that Valve's Robin Walker had previously predicted this and said that it would be done, but it would also highlight why they chose to do Half-Life Alyx in VR. And I think the consensus is that he was correct about that.
I think if he were incorrect about that, then what follows is that there was no reason why it should have been in VR, which I think we can trust Valve to not waste their time, basically, right?
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, the story in that game is kind of non-existent, so it's like, I mean, there is a story and whatever, but it's nothing special. The special part of that game is the interactions in VR, so I don't know why. I mean,
people would want to do that.
It doesn't make any. I mean, I get it for people who just aren't into VR. Like, I understand that side of it, or don't have the means, or whatever. But at the same time, like, I mean, it's just really good in VR. I wouldn't want to play it any other way.
Well, sorry to go out on a down note here, but EA is apparently not letting American McGee make any more Alice games, and he's taking his ball and going home. He's deciding not to pursue game development anymore. Thanks, EA.
What does this guy look like? Have you ever seen this guy? Is he a fake?
Why can't you just let American McGee make his Twisted Alice games? What the hell?
I saw him when he worked on like Quake and stuff. But
he looks fine. He looks like a normal nerd. Whatever.
Yeah.
With a weird thing for Alice.
What is the first game he made? He worked at id Software.
Yeah, he was at id. I think he
was on Doom, right?
Doom, it looks like.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. The Alice games are also
3D,
something.
Dude, he was on a Wolfenstein 3D.
Oh yeah, Spear of Destiny. Yeah.
I also
DJ
looked at
Box
Alice
Codes.
games and I was like, oh, that looks interesting, and never played them. So
I also never played them.
Yeah. So
I don't like Alice.
No.
Or the Cheshire Cat.
Or America.
Or the Mad Hatter.
Or fun, apparently. Jeez, you guys.
Or Cards.
But at least we'll always remember American McGee for American McGee's Bad Day LA. Thank you, American McGee, for
American
all you've
Pie.
done for us. Guys, that's going to do it for this episode of your Game Bytes Show podcast. Thanks for sticking through it all the way to the end with us. If you have any comments about the games that we have played, if you want to share anything with us that you've been playing, and
your most funny Mario Bros. Jokes.
What did you laugh at in that movie? Please tell us, because we'll either deride you or be enlightened or something. If you have any comments about the Mario movie, we'll put it in like a little Mario movie discussion. We'll solve this problem on the Game Bytes Show Discord. You can find a link to that over at GameBytesShow.com, now hosted on Podbean and circulated all throughout the pod sphere, I guess. You can also find us, of course, at youtube.com/GameBytesShow, where we do this thing live and on video for you on a weekly basis. And that open invite to the Discord server, come in, join us there, interact with us, get some news about freebies, updates, dank memes still going on there, and the occasional thread there. Super dank there. I had to laugh. Sometimes I'll just post things that are funny but are not necessarily memes. I'd like to draw everybody's attention to the interview with the guy who yelled Mortal Kombat in the Mortal Kombat song. Yes. One of the all-time interviews. You can see that in our Dank Memes channel on the Game Bytes Show Discord. So come join us there and get a good chuckle. Other than that, folks, that is going to do it for this episode of the Game Bytes Show podcast. We will be back here, same bat time, same bat channel, roughly, and we look forward to sharing with you then. Of course, until then, this has been your show. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.
See ya.
Be seeing you.
Bye.
Bye.
I mean, but when you read that interview, you can totally hear it.
I love the fact that it's text, though. He's like, oh yeah, well, let's hear it. Mortal Kombat. You still got it.
That is the best.
Yeah.
That'd be funny if the interview was like conducted via email.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why, but it just tickled my funny bones. So
that's good, man.
Oh, it is good. Oh heck!
I played Magic the Gathering the other day.
Did you? I almost put on here. There's a Disney kind of Magic the Gathering style game that's coming up, but it's not really a video game. I noticed on Fall Guys, like all the different things. I wonder what it's like to be the person who works on Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, who's in charge of, because they had like He-Man, like Masters of the
Yeah, I
Universe
saw that.
on there. They've got they finally had the Doomicorn on there. I don't know if that was a thing they already had. Disney's Encanto.
There's so much stuff in there, dude.
They give you a phone and they're just like, call everybody, just like call anybody.
Mhm.
You know,
Tell
it's
them
like,
that we want to put them in our game for free.
we're gonna put the principal of your local elementary school in Fall Guys.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty badass.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty.
that actually kind of would be a fun little contest or something.
Yeah. We played that at the LAN party too. Actually,
Did you?
we had a
That is a lot.
tournament. We had a
Really?
Fall
That's
Guys
fun.
tournament, and John gave away a PS5.
Wow.
Yeah. It was his 40th
great.
birthday party. He rented out a LAN center for 24
Nice.
hours. Not 24 hours, but we were there all night long from like 5 o'clock until like 3 in the morning.
Oh, that's super fun.
We bought a shit ton of food. And then he bought a PS5 and gave it away in a Fall Guys tournament with like
I
20
could eat
people.
a shit ton of food.
So there's like 20 people there, and we were all on Fall Guys together in the same rounds. We played
Mhm.
6 rounds, and the winners from each of those 6 rounds played in like a finals
Nice.
for a PS5. And anyway, somebody won.
Can you make it so that you're? I mean, is it just whoever got the furthest? Because you're playing with like 40.
No,
other
you
people,
can
right?
set up your own private lobbies, and so you get like a little code, and then you can just.
Were there any rounds where nobody finished?
I don't think so.
Or is it just like whoever gets the furthest in that case?
I think that's how it works. Because I guess there are those ones where you have like a time limit, and you're just trying to run to the exit or whatever.
Oh, what's the Rotten Tomatoes on the Super Brothers movie?
I voted the lowest, so I automatically win. It was like 55 or something, which isn't absolutely terrible, you know. But it's not.
Let's see. The tomato meter. It's 57%.
Yeah. Renfield looks kind of funny. That Air movie. Oh, we even saw John Wick 4. That was cool.
I only ever saw the first John Wick movie.
They're good. I mean, they're a lot alike.
So what's the deal with this Barbie movie?
Is that out? Is that out?
Not
Who is
yet.
this-
No,
who
it's
is
just
it
they've
for?
got- I have not watched any of the trailers. I've only seen where
You didn't
people
see the a trailer before Mario?
No, actually, we came in basically right after the ads because I tell my kids, because I was
okay.
meeting my daughter there, and I'm like, she's like, "Oh, Dad, I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna be late." And I'm like, you know what? You can be 15 minutes. We were actually like closer to 20 minutes after the start time,
Mhm.
and got in there like that's
Just
the
as the
time to
movie
show
was
up.
starting?
Yep,
Yeah.
it was perfect.
Well, presumably you missed a Barbie movie trailer that. I mean, it seems like it's made for people in their 40s, which seems odd.
Yeah, it looks kind of weird, huh?
Yeah. It's I think it's directed by Greta Gerwig, who did like Lady Bird like a few years ago, and like a bunch of other stuff that's like in the Criterion collection. So it's just a little bit weird. It's like a movie's for spinsters or something. I don't know.
Well,
Oh, I guess I can stop recording.
guess I can
Boink.
stop streaming.